The following is a production of Learfield Sports.
The Badgers' troubles in Evanston continued on Saturday afternoon as the Wildcats held off Wisconsin 20-14. The Badgers' fourth attempt to get a win down here since the last time Wisconsin was able to do so back in 1999. Defensively, the Badgers had trouble slowing down Northwestern's rushing attack, and the turnover margin was a +4 for Northwestern. The Wildcats coming up with 4 interceptions on the day. It helped spoil a huge afternoon for Melvin Gordon, who ran for 259 yards and 1 touchdown. We'll hear from some of the Badgers. This week's Senior Salute will focus in on Peniel Jean, and we'll also check in with Dare Ogunbowale, who's making the switch from the secondary to tailback. And when he's been playing tailback, he's been producing pretty well, I would say, at this early stage of his time at that position. And of course, we'll check in with head coach Dare Andersen. All of that coming up on the Badgers Sports Report. 2nd and 9 for the Badger 25. Stymies will hand off to Gordon. Off the edge left side. 25 to the 30. 35 to the 40. Outside the numbers. 45-50. Down the sideline 40. Gordon to the 30. He's to the 20. He's to the 15 and pushed out of bounds inside the 15 of Northwestern as Melvin Gordon, for the second time today, rips off a huge run. They'll mark at the 14 of Northwestern. Snap back to Stymies. Cats bringing 4. Stymies with time in the pocket. Now the pocket gets tight, and he'll throw it out. Caught by Clement. 25. Right side 20 to the 15, down to the 10-yard line, and tripped up just inside the 10. Stymies will give it to Gordon again. He's hit behind the line of scrimmage, breaks the tackle. Gordon to the end zone. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Oh my, an attitude scoring run from Melvin Gordon from 2 yards away. Badgers down 13. Snap to Stymies, a 4-man Northwestern rush. A throw over the middle, and it's caught by Andersen inside the 20-yard line. And big Sam Andersen bulldozing his way inside the 20 to the 19-yard line. Wisconsin at the Northwestern 19. Snap to Stymies. Back to throw. Lost it left side. Kenzel Doe got it. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Stymies to Kenzel Doe, and the Badgers are very much alive. To the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Corey Clement. Taken down by Michael Caputo. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Melvin Gordon. 20, 10, 5. Touchdown, Wisconsin. Kenzel Doe.
The Badger Sports Report with Gary Andersen is brought to you by Charter Communications, by the Dairy Farm Families of Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board, by Hyundai, by Adidas, by Toyota, and by UW Health, a cornerstone partner of Wisconsin athletics.
Most people don't know that UW Health and the University of Wisconsin are national leaders in the field of kidney transplant. They provide new life for those who will likely die without a transplant, and they assure a normal life for those who donate. I would know. I donated a kidney, and together, we saved a life.
UW Health. Remarkable.
We'll be making a traditional octopus salad, drizzled with some olive oil and topped with a dash of salt and pepper.
It's funny how seeing a clearer picture can lead you to see the bigger one. Get the most HD channels and the fastest internet on the most advanced fiber network. Charter Spectrum. Where will it take you?
Whether you're out there training for a big event or you're just trying to stay in shape, I have a bit of advice. It's important to remember that what happens after the workout is just as important as what happens during the workout. My advice? Be sure to refuel with low-fat chocolate milk. It has the perfect mixture of protein, carbs, and electrolytes to help you refuel, rehydrate, and build muscle. In Wisconsin, athletes win with low-fat chocolate milk. And you can too. To learn more, visit winwithchocolatemilk.com.
Fans use signs to identify themselves. The chop, the fork, the O. Hook 'em horns. But there's one sign everyone wants to be identified with. Number 1, fans show their loyalty in all kinds of ways. Ours just buy another Hyundai. Number 1 in customer loyalty 5 years in a row. Show your loyalty using the hashtag #ThisIsLoyalty.
Simeon takes the shotgun snap. Badgers bring a little corner blitz. Derek Tyndall gets to Simeon, and down he goes at the 31 of Northwestern. Little corner blitz from the freshman out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
They were a good team. They were a really good team, and we just didn't match up to the level of skill they played at today. And you know, I have a lot of confidence that we'll come back, we'll bounce back from this, and we'll be ready for the Big Ten further on.
I mean, we got to be consistent. We can't get a big play and then get stuffed for a few plays and punt it. We got to limit the penalties too. That guy hurt us for a bit, a couple of his runs, but he's a great player. We know he's going to get his yards, but we got to find a way in the end zone.
I mean, that's really frustrating. Our philosophy is, when we get in the red zone, we have to score. That's our thing, and we did not get that done today at all.
We'll let this one sink in tomorrow. Just kind of let that pain sink in. But after tomorrow, it's on to Illinois, and we got to put that game behind us. Learn from the mistakes, but we can't hang our heads and feel sorry for ourselves. We got a lot of games to play and a lot of opportunities ahead of us. So we're going to get on to Illinois and keep going.
It's a team game, and obviously, being competitors, both of us want to start and play every snap. But right now, I think where the team's at, I think we can really benefit from both of us playing. We're roommates in the hotel. I think we get along really well. And I think as long as we're working together and this offense is, working together, we can really be effective.
It's 2050. I'm one of 9 billion people on the planet. Like most, I live in the city. Our air and water are clean, and there's plenty of fresh food for everyone. My parents are getting old, but staying healthy. Good thing, because my kids will probably live to be 100. Can you imagine?
The University of Wisconsin-Madison, preparing minds to meet the challenges of the future before they become the challenges of today. Keep on, Wisconsin. Keep on.
First Big Ten game is behind her. Now the Badgers will get ready for the Big Ten home opener coming up this Saturday against Illinois. That game will kick off at 11 o'clock Central Time here at Camp Randall Stadium. Before we talk any specifics of the next game, I just coached with the first conference game. So many true and redshirt freshmen involved here. It's such a young team. Each guy is going to develop at his own pace, but the body of work collectively, have you liked what you've seen out of these young guys so far?
I really have. There's guys that are ahead of where I thought they would be. There's some other guys that aren't quite where we maybe thought they would be at this point. But overall, for them to be able to get out there and sustain, and maintain for a long period of time. For them, it's been going since June. You graduate from high school, and a couple weeks later, you're thrown into a college football program. And so you got June, July, August, September that have gone by at this point, and those kids are grinding away. And it's a good sign. I think it's a sign that the recruiting class was a good class, a good solid class. We'll continue work to make them better and better. You hear that term, the wall that players might hit. Some coaches will talk about it, some would rather not. I guess we'll find out where you are on this. But is it something, maybe with a team in general, but especially first-year guys that you have to keep an eye on? Yeah, we do talk about it and talk about it a lot. I talk to the young men individually if I see it or sense it, and not just the freshmen. There's some freshmen that played last year that are now sophomores playing again that I worry about. And I met with the leadership committee and we discussed it. And my opinion is it's tough for those freshmen. It's tough for the redshirt freshmen. It does change. It's different when you're playing. But overall, as a football team, in my opinion, game 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 are the toughest for young players and, quite frankly, for a football team to keep grinding through, because football is so repetitive. It's the same as. You got to try to keep them fresh. You got to listen to your kids and communicate. Once you get to 10, 11, 12, it's whoa, this thing's almost over with. But that's where your season is made, through the stretch of 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, and that's where tough teams come to play every week. But we do talk about it. I make sure I'm doing everything I can to put them in a spot to be successful.
Yeah, it's the interesting point. You played one Big Ten game, and you mentioned this is 5 games overall, so you're really into the guts of the schedule now. You want to get your work in practice, but are the periods reduced at this time of year, and certainly the contact maybe reduced at times as well?
Yeah, this past week, going into the 5th game, we sit back and we look at it and say, okay, now we're going to be in a position to be able to be cutting back a little bit, and as we get through 7, 8, 9, and 10 as we continue to move forward. But we don't go much under about an hour and 20 minutes of practice time with about another 20 minutes of stretch and walk through. We can handle that very well. Our kids practice at a good, fast pace, but we think about it continually. But you still, you got to get the work done. And I think your meetings step up a little bit this time of year too. You can meet a little bit more because they should be able to absorb more from the film study and maybe less time on their feet on the field.
Off the practice field, strength and conditioning, always such a vital part of this. Evan Simon and his group with the strength and conditioning staff, I would imagine they keep the guys pretty busy when they can, just to make sure they maintain and, if not, be able to get stronger as the season moves along.
Yeah, the big point of emphasis, we want to control and win the 4th quarter, and that's a lot of strength training. That's a lot of mental toughness that has to take place at those critical times for the travel team, and so we do. We work them hard in there, but we also try to keep them fresh. We try to work hard the prehab part of things and to stay away from the rehab part of things, and that's so far so good. And then for our young kids, they're in the middle of an off season. The kids that are redshirting and not traveling, they're in off season part 1 of this year, and then they'll jump in January of off season part 2. So it's broken up. Evan and his crew do a tremendous job of putting the kids in a position to succeed as a team, but also succeed individually. And that's what's unique, I think, about Evan Simon and his crew, is the way they handle each young man differently. You've got, old players in Rob and Sam, for instance, and you got a young player in Sojourn and Lubern playing over there on defense. Well, they can't lift the same, nor should they.
All right, Badgers getting ready to take on the Illinois Fighting Illini Conference home opener coming up this Saturday at Camp Randall. Again, the kickoff here in Madison will be 11 o'clock Central Time. Coach returns in a few minutes with a great day and great question of the week as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
When you have the fastest internet speeds, you can find anything almost instantly, which is a powerful thing. Because sometimes it's not so much what you're looking for, but how fast you can find it that makes all the difference. Get the most advanced fiber network. Charter Spectrum. Where will it take you?
Some call it a miracle. Others call it science. But for those who've needed a kidney transplant like Kelly Krager, they simply call it a new lease on life. For nearly 5 decades, UW Health and the University of Wisconsin have been national leaders in the field of kidney transplant, providing a new life for recipients and assuring a normal life for living donors. Miracle? Science? Maybe it's a little bit of both. UW Health. Remarkable.
Wisconsin cheese, making good food great.
The Learfield Sports Directors Cup is the officially sanctioned annual award recognizing all-around excellence in men's and women's collegiate competition. NACDA and USA Today co-founded this esteemed honor in 1993, still widely recognized as the crowning achievement in college athletics.
6-yard line of Bowling Green. Handoff Ogunbowale to the 25, to the 20, and down near the 15-yard line. Ogunbowale finding.
Coach Andersen told me about the switch going into a meeting, and he said that he felt that I could be helpful to the team playing running back because of a drill that we do called Speed in Space, and I would make guys miss, so he felt that I'd be a good candidate for the switch to running back, and then I played pretty well my first game, so they decided to keep me.
First off, we had a couple guys go down, so We had a need for some guys to be able to come in and fill in behind, Melvin and Corey from a practice standpoint, but also to help us get out some games. And Dare did a nice job once he had the opportunity to get in there. Obviously, a learning curve and pick up the offense, but did a nice job with that. He's a hard-working guy. Practiced hard. It was good to be able to see him and get some success there.
Well, I think in fall camp we had a lot of injuries to some offensive guys. So when he was in there servicing the defense at times, he showed some good wiggle to him with the ball in his hands, and I think that caught the eye of the offensive coaches. And obviously we had some injuries at the running back position, and Dare is such a team guy, and we're always going to make moves that are going to be for the best interest of the team, and he was definitely open and willing to do that. He was great in our corner room, and I know he's doing great things in the running back room, but he's a guy that just wants to contribute regardless.
Wisconsin has a tradition of being a running back school, so when they told you you're going to switch to running back, what was kind of going through your mind there?
At first it was a surprise. I mean, obviously I played cornerback for a very long time, and then for them to tell me that I was switching to running back was kind of a shock. But then after I figured out that I could help the team out, the shock wore off, and then I just wanted to get into the iPad so I could learn the offense as quick as I could. In high school, I mainly played defensive back, and then we had offensive packages, and I returned kicks and punts and stuff like that. So I mean, I kind of had the ball in my hand in high school, but not in the running back capacity. So it was different. It was definitely different being behind the quarterback and stuff like that. But I mean, it's football. Football's football. I played soccer my freshman and sophomore year, and then I decided to start playing football my junior year. So I guess yeah, picking up a new sport, new position is just it wasn't that bad. I guess it wasn't that difficult.
The head coach of his high school was a guy that I knew and played against, so obviously there was a relationship there, and he's seen a lot of good players come through, whether it was his team or other teams, and he thought he was a young man that had a lot of potential. And as you turn on the film, obviously he was raw for only having played 2 years, but you saw the ceiling for him was really high. Obviously a very smart kid, and so you put the two together. A Wisconsin kid coming to Wisconsin, he's going to maximize his abilities. So all those things saw in Dare, and he hasn't disappointed since.
How many weeks of practice did you have at running back before you were put in and during a game?
Just the 1 week. I started on the Thursday, and then I had that whole week, and then Bowling Green game was my first game. So about a week and a couple days, yeah.
And when your number gets called to go out there on the field, what's going through your mind?
It was different. Coach Brown said, Dare, get out there, and I just buckled up and went out there and got to play and just did what I could, did what I'd been practicing for all week. So
don't fumble.
Yeah, exactly. That's all really he told me, just make sure I keep the ball at the end of every play. So that was obviously the main thing going through my head, but then obviously I wanted to get some yards and stuff like that. So it was a fun experience.
You and Melvin are obviously close. You share an apartment together. What was his reaction when you were going to be moved to running back?
I think Melvin might have been more excited than me. Melvin's been real helpful throughout the whole process. We'd get home from practice and he'd go through film with me and we'd watch film the whole practice together before we even get to meetings. So that's real helpful. He'll give me little tidbits and stuff that he's learned from being a running back. And obviously he's a great running back to learn from. So it's real helpful having him at home.
I was just excited. I was teasing him a little bit about it. Just telling the guys, hey, we got a new running back in the room, y'all. So it's been exciting, man, to have two backs in the room. He's an explosive player, I feel like, and he got great instincts. When you see him out there running, me and Corey is just, we're just so excited for him. We're yelling, we're screaming. Like I said, he's been through a lot as a player, just really behind the depth chart. And, playing a running back, getting on the field, getting 94 yards in the game, only playing practicing 4 or 5 days at the position, and then coming out there performing in a game like that is unbelievable.
Right now I'm just trying to make sure that I learn everything, and I'm here. I plan to stay here as long as they want me to stay here, and right now it looks like I'll be here long term. So I just want to make sure I learn everything, and that's not only the running but also the pass protection and stuff like that. So I just want to make sure I learn everything first, and then we'll figure that out as time goes on.
I definitely enjoyed every moment of it. Definitely in the locker room with the guys, just joking around, because it felt like a family atmosphere since I got here. When I came here, everyone was just open. They opened their arms and took me in like I was their brother. So that's the most thing I enjoyed. Before I got here, I never saw snow, so that was new to me. Never went outdoors once it was cold, so I stayed inside all the time. So I didn't really do too much besides hanging my dorm. So that was the biggest change for me, and definitely academically and athletically, those things were the biggest change for me because it's a lot different.
And you've earned some academic honors in your time here. How important was that when you were deciding to come to Wisconsin?
Definitely that was #1 for me because you never know where football will take you, because before I made my decision, I was like, if I can't play football anymore, would I enjoy this school? So that answered the question. I ended up choosing Wisconsin, and definitely academically is the best school out of all the choices that I had, and definitely the atmosphere around campus was the other part.
What's your major and what made you come to that decision?
Right now, personal finance. I just graduated this past spring, so now I'm in the ELP program in the School of Education. So I'm working towards athletic administration, so hopefully I can finish that by next summer.
What are some goals you have set for you this year?
Become a leader and just help the younger guys grow so that when the other new guys come in, that they could take the same role that I have now by teaching the younger guys what they have to do and being on time to everything. And just like Lubrin, I'm teaching them everything that I went through so that he could be just like me or be someone even better.
You guys had a huge senior class last year. What are some of the lessons you learned from them that you can implement this year with some of the younger guys?
Definitely enjoy every moment of it because it goes by fast and you don't realize it till senior day hits you or the bowl game. Yeah, basically just enjoy every moment and enjoy every second that you have with your teammates because it'll never be like this again.
You've mentioned that just hanging out with the guys in the locker room has been really what's made the experience for you, but are there any particular memories that stand out, any particular games, particular plays?
Definitely my true freshman year against Ohio State when everyone stormed the field. That was the biggest part of it. I enjoyed that. We were out here for like a half an hour just enjoying everything, the students, and just after beating that team, it was just a great moment. They have a picture of us, everyone in the weight room of that game. So I look at it every day and I point out the guys that I like Bo Allen and Pat Muldoon and Nick Toon. I point them out. I'm like, geez, that felt like yesterday. So it's crazy. Time flies by. The older guys that left, I still keep in touch, like Nick Toon, Marcus Cromartie, Devin Smith, Aaron Henry. Some guys that left here, and I still keep in touch with them. And like I said, I came here because I felt like I was home, even though I was away from home. And once you're a Badger, you're always a Badger. So I love it. I'll keep it at heart, and I'll always return there every time.
Fans use signs to identify themselves. The chop, the fork, the O, hook 'em horns. But there's one sign everyone wants to be identified with. #1, fans show their loyalty in all kinds of ways. Ours just buy another Hyundai. #1 in customer loyalty 5 years in a row. Show your loyalty using the hashtag #ThisIsLoyalty.
We'll be making a traditional octopus salad, drizzled with some olive oil and topped with a dash of salt and pepper.
It's funny how seeing a clearer picture can lead you to see the bigger one. Get the most HD channels and the fastest internet on the most advanced fiber network. Charter Spectrum. Where will it take you?
Most people don't know that UW Health and the University of Wisconsin are national leaders in the field of kidney transplant. They provide new life for those who will likely die without a transplant, and they assure a normal life for those who donate. I would know. I donated a kidney, and together, we saved a life.
UW Health. Remarkable.
Whether you're out there training for a big event or you're just trying to stay in shape, I have a bit of advice. It's important to remember that what happens after the workout is just as important as what happens during the workout. My advice? Be sure to refuel with low-fat chocolate milk. It has the perfect mixture of protein, carbs, and electrolytes to help you refuel, rehydrate, and build muscle. In Wisconsin, athletes win with low-fat chocolate milk. And you can too. To learn more, visit winwithchocolatemilk.com.
The Badger Sports Report with Gary Andersen is brought to you by Charter Communications, by the Dairy Farm Families of Wisconsin, the Wisconsin Milk Marketing Board, by Hyundai, by Adidas, by Toyota, and by UW Health, a cornerstone partner of Wisconsin Athletics.
Time for this week's Great Dane Great Question of the Week. Mitch from Minneapolis checking in. I think he's noticed all those former Badgers who come back to Camp Randall when they can, be it guys in the NFL or whatever walk of life they're in. You're doing 2 or 3 things on a game day, but Mitch wants to know, do you get a chance to at least say hi to some of these guys when they come back?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great question, Mitch. And the important part for us is to include the former players, and not just since we've been here. I want them to come back, and this is their school, this is their university, and I want to welcome them with open arms and have them be on the sidelines if possible with us, have them be in the stands if that's where they opt to be. But for them to be able to come back and relate to our kids, I like to get a lot of those people in front of our kids. It's the experiences they have, the knowledge that they have of this program, what their degree's done for them since they've left. It's pretty powerful words that come out of those guys' mouths. And the NFL guys were able to include them by throwing some Badger gear into each locker room. So it's fun to send that out to them. And then I get to hear from my other former players at other schools asking for Badger gear, but they don't get any. So that's just a select few that get the special edition group gear.
All right, Mitch, thanks a lot for your question. The Great Dane with the location up in Wausau. So when you're up to that part of the state, be sure to stop by. And in Madison, there are 4 Great Dane locations, east side of town, downtown, Fitchburg, as well as Hilldale. We'll be gathering again at the Hilldale location throughout the season, Thursday nights for Coach Anderson's radio show, previewing the upcoming Badger game. That'll do it for us. The Illinois Fighting Illini coming to town for an 11 o'clock matchup this Saturday at Camp Randall Stadium. Hope to see you here. In the meantime, we'll talk to you next week. Thanks for watching.
Fans use signs to identify themselves. The chop, the fork, the O, hook 'em horns. But there's one sign everyone wants to be identified with. Number 1, fans show their loyalty in all kinds of ways. Ours just buy another Hyundai. Number 1 in customer loyalty 5 years in a row. Show your loyalty using the hashtag #ThisIsLoyalty.
The Learfield Sports Directors Cup is the officially sanctioned annual award recognizing all-around excellence in men's and women's collegiate competition. NACDA and USA Today co-founded this esteemed honor in 1993, still widely recognized as the crowning achievement in college athletics.
It's 2050. I'm one of 9 billion people on the planet. Like most, I live in the city. Our air and water are clean, and there's plenty of fresh food for everyone. My parents are getting old, but staying healthy. Good thing, because my kids will probably live to be 100. Can you imagine?
The University of Wisconsin-Madison, preparing minds to meet the challenges of the future before they become the challenges of today. Keep on, Wisconsin. Keep on.